Be me, 32F, HR director at a tech consultancy in Seattle, been here for 3 years, climbed the ladder faster than anyone else, office's open plan and exposed brick, overpriced espresso machine in the break room. Company is successful, but the culture has always felt stale to me. Too many hoodies, too many grey sneakers, too much meritocracy. Meritocracy is just a dog whistle for maintaining the status quo, obviously. I've made it my personal mission to fix this. CEO is this older guy, Robert, who just wants the numbers to go up. He lets me handle the people stuff because he's terrified of getting cancelled. Perfect scenario for me. I hold the keys to the kingdom, gatekeeper of the hiring process. Over the last year, I've been slowly implementing what I call the Future Forward Initiative. Basically, if 2 candidates are equal, we don't hire the guy. Actually, even if the guy is slightly better, we don't hire him. Call it potential over polish. Feels good to be the architect of change. I sit in my glass-walled office overlooking the floor, watch the rows of developers clacking away. Mostly men. Quiet, focused, boring. They don't realize their time is up. I sip my matcha latte and open my laptop. Time to shake things up. Current situation: we need a new lead developer for the Project Helios account. Huge client, massive budget. Team is currently run by Mark. Mark is 38, been here since the startup days, knows the code backward and forward, but Mark is difficult. Not loud, just stubborn. He cares about efficiency and clean code over team dynamics. He refuses to attend my optional inclusivity luncheons, says he's too busy debugging. Classic avoidance behavior. I've been looking for a reason to sideline him. Hiring a new lead over him is the perfect power move. I post the job listing, rewrite the requirements to focus less on technical stack and more on soft skills and leadership through empathy. Flood of applications comes in, 90% men. I delete most of them without reading. I'm looking for a unicorn. Find her. Name is Jessica. Resume is interesting. Bootcamp grad, only 2 years of experience. But her cover letter is fire. Talks about challenging the patriarchy in code. Talks about how algorithms are inherently biased. This is exactly the energy we need. I schedule the interview. Mark asks to sit in on the technical screening. I tell him no. We're trying a new blind process to remove unconscious bias, Mark. He looks annoyed but doesn't push back. Men are so easy to manipulate when you use the right buzzwords. Interview with Jessica goes great. We talk about her blog, her activism, her vibe. She admits she's not great at C++, which is what the project is built in. I'm a quick learner though, and I bring a fresh perspective. I nod enthusiastically. Technical skills can be taught, culture is innate. I hire her on the spot, offer her $20K more than Mark makes. Gotta close the wage gap, right? First day for Jessica. I introduce her to the team. Project Helios team is 6 guys, all wearing headphones. They take them off slowly when I clap my hands. Everyone, this is Jessica, your new lead developer. Silence. Mark stands up, extends a hand. Nice to meet you. Do you want me to walk you through the architecture? Jessica smiles, a bit condescendingly. I think I'd rather start by doing a pulse check on the team's emotional bandwidth. Mark blinks. Okay, but the sprint ends on Friday and we have a deployment. Deadlines are a construct of capitalist pressure, Mark. We need to prioritize wellness. I am beaming. This is exactly what they needed, a disruption. I go back to my office feeling like a queen. Watch from the window as Jessica rearranges the desks to be more collaborative. The guys look miserable. Good. Growth is uncomfortable. 2 weeks later, I'm in the break room getting water. Overhear 2 of the junior devs, Greg and Sam. Usually they're joking about video games. Now they're whispering. I had to rewrite her entire commit last night. Greg says, shh, don't let her hear you. Sam replies, she didn't even close the loop. It would have crashed the production server. Just fix it and don't say anything. I don't want to get called into HR. I step around the corner. Is there a problem, gentlemen? They jump like they've been tased. No, Sarah, no problem, Greg stammers. Sounds like you're undermining leadership, I say, voice sweet but icy. If you have feedback for Jessica, you should give it to her directly. Or is it that you have a problem taking orders from a woman? Greg looks at his shoes. No, it's not that. It's just the code. The code is evolving. I cut him off. Get on board or get out of the way. I walk away feeling powerful. I'm protecting my investment. I'm protecting the future. Later that day, I call a mandatory all-hands meeting. Subject: toxic perfectionism in the workplace. I give a 45-minute presentation. Slides about how correcting someone's work without permission is a form of microaggression. I see Mark in the back row. He's not looking at the screen, he's looking at me. Face is totally blank, stone cold. Usually he rolls his eyes or sighs. Today, nothing. It's unnerving. I wrap up the meeting. Any questions? Silence. Absolute dead silence. Great. Let's do better, people. Month 2. Project Helios is behind schedule. Client is getting antsy. Robert, CEO, comes to my office. Sarah, I'm hearing rumblings about the Helios deadline. It's just growing pains, Robert. The team is adjusting to a new, more equitable workflow. Okay, but the client doesn't care about equity. They care about the product working. It will work. Trust the process. He leaves, looking unconvinced. I decide we need more support. Obviously, the problem is that the team is still too male. They're resisting Jessica's leadership passively. I need to dilute their influence. I open 3 new requirements for junior devs. I specifically filter for non-traditional backgrounds. I hire 3 new people. Ashley, graphic design major who did a coding bootcamp. Tyler, he/they, sociology degree, self-taught Python. Chloe, friend of Jessica's, used to work in marketing. None of them know C++. I put them all on the Helios team. Mark comes to my office the next day. He closes the door. Sarah, we need to talk. Make it quick, Mark. I have a yoga class at 5. These new hires. They don't know the stack. They're quick learners, Mark. You should be mentoring them. I can't mentor 3 people from scratch while fixing the lead's mistakes and meeting a deadline that's already passed. Wow, I say, leaning back. That sounds like a lot of excuses. Maybe you're just not cut out for a senior role if you can't handle multitasking. Mark stares at me. That blank look again. Okay, he says. Just okay. He stands up and leaves. I feel a twinge of anxiety. Usually he fights back. Usually he argues logic. This surrender feels wrong, but I brush it off. He knows I have the power. He's falling in line. The turning point. Monday morning. Big deployment week. I walk in, expecting chaos. Instead, the office is quiet. Too quiet. I walk over to the Helios bank of desks. Jessica is there, looking stressed. Ashley, Tyler, and Chloe are there, looking confused. Mark's desk is empty. Greg's desk is empty. Sam's desk is empty. In fact, all the senior male devs are gone. Panic flares in my chest. Did they quit? Did I push them too far? I check my email. Nothing. I check Slack. They're all online. Status set to working remotely. I storm into Robert's office. Did you authorize remote work for the Helios guys? Robert looks up over his glasses. I did. Mark sent me a proposal. Said they needed uninterrupted focus time to hit the deadline. Said the office environment was too distracting. He emphasizes the word distracting, looking at me. But collaboration is key. They need to be here to support the juniors. Sarah, the client, threatened to walk on Friday. I don't care where they work. I need the code. I grind my teeth. Fine. But when this project is over, we're having a serious discussion about insubordination. I go back to my desk, message Mark on Slack. This is unacceptable. You can't just abandon the team. Mark, per the Employee Handbook, page 42, section 3, remote work is permitted at manager discretion for critical path tasks. I am exercising that discretion. I check the handbook. He's right. I wrote that policy during the pandemic, played myself. I watched Jessica trying to manage the 3 new hires. It's a disaster. Chloe is crying because her compiler keeps throwing errors. Jessica is trying to comfort her with affirmations. The error message is not a judgment of your worth, Chloe. Meanwhile, nothing is getting built. I feel a headache coming on. Friday arrives. Deployment day. I'm nervous. If this fails, it's on me. I've staked my reputation on this new team structure. Noon comes around. Mark messages the main channel. Deployment package is ready. Uploading to staging now. I breathe a sigh of relief. They did it. I knew they could. See? My pressure worked. It forced them to step up. I go to the conference room for the client demo. Robert is there. Client reps are on Zoom. Jessica stands up to present. She looks terrified. She hasn't actually written any of the code. She clicks through the slides. We've really focused on the user journey and the emotional resonance of the interface. Client interrupts. Yeah, that's great. Can we see the back-end performance metrics? We had latency issues last time. Jessica freezes. Well, we prioritized front-end accessibility, so silence on the call. Mark's voice comes over the speakerphone. He's dialed in. I can answer that. We rewrote the database queries. Latency is down 40%. It's in the technical documentation I emailed you this morning. Client. Oh, great. Thanks, Mark. Good work. Jessica sits down, face red. I feel a pit in my stomach. Mark saved us, but he also humiliated my hire, and by extension, me. After the meeting, Robert pulls me aside. We got lucky, Sarah, but I'm looking at the commit logs Mark sent me. Commit log? Yeah, it shows who wrote what code. 98% of the work this week was done by Mark, Greg, and Sam. Jessica contributed 0 lines of functional code. The new hires contributed negative lines. Mark had to delete their work because it was breaking the build. I feel the blood drain from my face. Collaboration isn't always measured in lines of code, Robert. Jessica provided the vision. Vision doesn't ship products, Sarah. We're paying her $160K. Fix this. He walks away. I'm shaking. Rage is building. Mark did this on purpose. He documented everything to make me look bad. It's sabotage. It's toxic masculinity. He's trying to gatekeep the industry. I'm not going to let him win. The crackdown. Monday morning. Everyone is back in the office. I call Mark into my office. I have a performance improvement plan PIP printed out. Sit down, Mark. He sits, relaxed. Too relaxed. I'm putting you on a PIP. He raises an eyebrow. For what? I just saved the biggest contract in company history. For poor leadership. For excluding team members. For creating a hostile work environment where junior staff feel unsafe to contribute. Unsafe? Because I fixed their code? Because you didn't give them space to fail and learn. You hijacked the project. It's ego, Mark. He looks at the paper, doesn't sign it. I'm not signing this. It's not a request. It's a notification. If you don't improve your inclusivity metrics in 30 days, you're out. He looks me in the eye. Really looks at me. Sarah, do you know what happens if I leave? Everyone is replaceable, Mark. He smiles, a cold, thin smile. Okay. He stands up. Is that all? Yes. Get out. He leaves. I feel triumphant. I showed him who's boss. I spend the next week doubling down. Schedule mandatory empathy and engineering workshops. Force the guys to pair program with the new hires. Watch them sit there while Ashley tries to figure out basic syntax. It's painful, but it's necessary. Culture shift is hard. I notice something though. The guys have stopped talking entirely. Not just to me, to everyone. They come in at 9 sharp. They leave at 5 sharp. They take their legally mandated lunch breaks away from the office. They don't chat in Slack. They don't fix the coffee machine when it breaks. They don't change the toner in the printer. They just work. Malicious compliance. It's eerie. The office feels like a morgue. Jessica comes to me complaining. They won't talk to me. If I ask a question, they answer it literally and nothing more. It's emotional violence. I know, sweetie. They're lashing out because their privilege is being threatened. Just keep leading. But I can see she's cracking. She knows she's out of her depth. And without the guys covering for her, it's becoming obvious. The disaster. 2 weeks into the pick, major server outage, middle of the day, client website goes dark, panic mode. I run out to the floor. What's happening? Fix it. Jessica is typing frantically. I don't know. It just crashed. I didn't touch anything. I look at Mark. He's sitting there, eating sandwich, reading a PDF on his screen. Mark, the server is down. He looks up slowly, chews, swallows. I know. Well, do something. I'm on my lunch break, Sarah. Strictly enforced per the new wellness policy you sent out last week. My jaw drops. This is an emergency. Jessica is the lead. I'm just a resource. I'm sure she has the vision to fix it. He takes another bite. I turn to Greg. Greg, help her. Greg points to his screen. Sorry, Sarah. I'm currently pair programming with Ashley on a CSS issue. You said I'm not allowed to switch contexts until the session is done. I'm losing my mind. The CEO comes running out, face purple. Why is the site down? The client is screaming at me. I point at the guys. They're refusing to help. Robert turns to Mark. Mark, get the site up. Now. Mark looks at his watch. It's 12:45. My break ends at 1. Also, I don't have root access anymore. Jessica revoked it for security equity reasons. Robert turns to Jessica. Give him access. Jessica is crying. I don't remember the password. I wrote it on a sticky note, but I lost it. Robert looks like he's going to have a stroke. Mark. Fix it. I don't care about the password. Hack it if you have to. Mark wipes his mouth with a napkin. I can do that. But my consulting rate for emergency services outside of my defined role is $400 an hour, and I need that in writing. Robert doesn't hesitate. Done. Email it to me. Mark cracks his knuckles, types for 45 seconds. We're back up. Robert sags against the wall. He looks at me. The look is pure hatred. My office. Now. The reckoning. I sit in Robert's office. He's not yelling, which is worse. He's reading a document. Do you know what this is, Sarah? No. It's a formal complaint filed by Mark, Greg, Sam, and Dave. It was sent to the board of directors this morning. Not to me. To the board. My stomach drops. On what grounds? Discriminatory hiring practices, hostile work environment, retaliation, and fraud. Fraud. That's ridiculous. Is it? They have emails where you explicitly instructed them to ignore qualified candidates based on gender. They have recordings of you threatening Mark's job for fixing code. They have logs of the downtime cost caused by your diversity hires. I was fixing the culture. I was building a future-proof company. You were building a lawsuit, Sarah. A massive one. He slides a piece of paper across the desk. The board met an hour ago. They wanted to fire me for letting this happen. I convinced them that if we cut the cancer out now, we can survive. I'm the cancer? Tears sting my eyes, not of sadness, but of rage. I did everything for this company. I brought us into the 21st century. You cost us $3 million in lost contracts this month alone. The Helios client just fired us. They're following Mark. What? Mark resigned 10 minutes ago. So did Greg, Sam, and the rest of the senior team. They're starting their own firm. And they're taking the client? I feel dizzy, so what happens to me? You're terminated. Effective immediately. Security is waiting to escort you out. You can't do this. I'll sue. I'll go to the press. I'll tell everyone you're a misogynist institution. Robert sighs. He looks tired. Go ahead. The guys have 400 gigabytes of data, Slack logs, audio recordings of your meetings, performance metrics. If you go public, they dump it all. You'll never work in HR again. I freeze. He's right. The silence, the quiet compliance. They were gathering ammo. I didn't see it. I thought they were weak. They were just waiting. I stand up. My legs feel like jelly. I walk out of the office. Everyone is watching. Jessica and the new hires are huddled in a corner, looking terrified. They know they're next. Mark and the guys are packing their boxes, laughing, actually laughing. Mark looks up as I walk past with the security guard. He doesn't smirk. He doesn't gloat. He just nods. A simple, respectful nod. Like you give to a worthy adversary who lost. But I know he doesn't see me as worthy. He sees me as a bug he just patched out. I get to the elevator, press the button, doors close. I see the office one last time. The empire I built, crumbling. I get to my car, sit there for an hour, crying, check LinkedIn. Mark has already updated his status, founder at Helios Solutions. Comments are flooded with congratulations from our former clients. I open a bottle of wine when I get home. Cats are hungry. I feed them, open my laptop to update my resume, delete Future Forward Initiative from my skills section, stare at the screen. I still don't think I was wrong. The system is just rigged. The patriarchy protects its own. But deep down, in the place I don't like to look, I know. I underestimated them. And I overestimated myself. I take a sip of wine. It tastes sour. Check my bank account. Rent is due in a week. I have no severance. Panic sets in. Real panic. Not the fake panic I use in meetings to get my way. Survival panic. I close the laptop. Darkness. Silence. Just me and the consequences of my own actions. And the cats. Mostly the cats. Epilogue. 6 months later, working as a junior recruiter for a temp agency. Soul-crushing work. I scroll through LinkedIn during lunch. See a post from Helios Solutions. They just won Tech Company of the Year. Photo of the team. It's Mark, the guys, and Jessica. She's in the photo, holding a trophy. Caption reads, "Thanks to our mentorship program, even our juniors are shipping production code. Meritocracy works when you actually teach people skills instead of ideology." Jessica looks happy, actually happy, not performative happy. She learned to code, Mark taught her. I feel a lump in my throat. I didn't help her. I used her. And Mark, the misogynist, actually gave her a career. I close the tab. Boss walks by. "Sarah, stop slacking. We need 50 cold calls by noon." "Yes, sir." I pick up the phone, dial, voice is shaking. "Hi, this is Sarah from Staff Pro. I am humbled, and it sucks.